Let me recap some of the things we have learned about acids and bases really quickly. Today we will get quantitative. Now, I know this looks bad, but by the end of these notes, you will understand how to use these equations. Right now, most likely it looks like a bunch of gibberish to you, like another language or some strange formula, but actually you're going to find that these are the ways we get quantitative with acids. These equations are not as bad as they look. I would even argue that at least two of these equations are easier than addition. I'm going to make that statement. These are easier than adding, one of the easiest things to do in all of mathematics. People are often intimidated by it, but super simple, as you will see, I hope. Remember that acids and bases are usually in the form of a solution. So all the things that we learned about solutions apply. A mixture of two chemicals that is stable and homogeneous. The solute is less, the solvent is more. Well, what's the universal solvent? Water. So most acids and bases are aqueous solutions with water. So that means the acid or the base would be the solute, right? And then we talked about measuring concentration. Well, in this section, we're going to forget about molality. We're going to forget about parts per million. We should have forgotten about that to begin with. And we're going to only have one left, and that is molarity. Molarity is the only one we use in acid-base chemistry. So you got to remember what molarity means. Moles of solute over liters of solution. That is the default measurement for concentration in chemistry. We talked about one definition, the Arrhenius definition, that an acid generates hydronium in solution, probably aqueous solution. A base generates hydroxide in solution, probably an aqueous solution. Those are the definitions of acids and bases. Those are the ones that we use all the time. Based on these definitions, water can fall into either category. Water is an acid, or water is a base. What's the word for that? Like an amphibian, amphoteric. Amphoteric chemicals can act as acids or bases depending on their surroundings. So water can never be pure. This is the dirty little secret for water. Water can never be pure because even if you tried to get every other chemical away from it, purifying it as much as you possibly could, this happens. Water ionizes itself. It does it to itself. Nothing else needs to be present. You get a very small amount of hydronium and hydroxide present in the purest water possible. So notice how they form. Hydronium and hydroxide form together. They form at the same time. That means for every single hydronium you make in pure water, you will also have a hydroxide in pure water. So their numbers will be the same, and their concentrations will be the same. This is important for understanding pH. Oh yeah, there's that other definition, the Bronsted-Lowry definition of an acid or a base. Whether it is a proton donor, that's an acid, or a proton acceptor, that's a base. Those are very polite terms, but as I said, a proton donor doesn't just give away its proton or hydrogen ion. It is ripped away. It's taken away from it. And then a base doesn't just accept it in the mail like sign for a package that's delivered. It actually goes and grabs that proton. So this is the other definition of an acid and a base that we're going to be using. And then we talked about a few other things like acid strength depends on dissociation. And then we also mentioned that some acids are monoprotic, some acids are diprotic. That will come up a little bit later. This is the way that many people are familiar with pH. They're familiar with the universal indicator scale with all those pretty colors, kind of like a spectrum of colors, a rainbow of colors. And on the universal indicator scale, acids show up as red or orange, bases show up as purple or blue, and if you're neutral, you're going to be on the green. Notice that the pH numbers go from 0 to 14, and 7 is in the middle of that. 7 is neutral. If you're a lower number than 7, okay, then it's an acid. And if you're a higher number than 7, it's a base. The farther you are away from 7, the more concentrated the acid or the base will be. So pretty much, it's kind of safe in the middle, hazardous on the sides. Now we're going to see mathematically where these numbers derive from, because these numbers are actually negative logarithms. So now you're going to see where they originate. Just remember that negative logarithms produces an upside down scale. So the concentration of hydrogen ions, pH, power of hydrogen, the concentration of hydrogen ions is highest where the number is low, like 0, 1, 2. That's where there's the most hydrogen ions. And the concentration is the lowest where the number is high, 12, 13, 14. Those are the lowest concentrations of hydronium or hydrogen ions.